let's talk Justin Reid. 3-year, $31 million deal. I believe it was 20 total guaranteed. Is that right, Mark?
Yep.
I like it. I've been a Justin Reid guy for a long time. I think that his athletic profile is borderline off the charts. He's one hell of a player. His production has slipped in the past couple of years. I'm not denying that. I do think that some of that had to do with where he was at and what he was asked to do. He's a guy that really is versatile. I think he's not like a Tyrann Mathieu by any means, where he's going to be full-time slot or 75% slot and then running around doing a bunch of stuff. But he is a free safety who, and this is not what the term free safety necessarily means. I'm not trying to say it, but he can be free. He can just go out and play. He's a guy that is athletic enough and big enough. He's 6'1", I believe around 200 pounds. He's not a pushover player. He can be lined up in man coverage on a tight end. He can line up in man coverage. He can get a running back out of the flat. He can be in the slot if the Chiefs need him to. He's a guy that can do a lot of different stuff. I think with Juan Thornhill there, the Chiefs will make it a priority in 2022 or 2023, I guess, to extend his contract at some point if he plays well. Keep him there long term. The Chiefs would have a good young safety duo building for the future. I think the year one cap hit is going to be fine. That's going to help the Chiefs still make some moves. I don't think that that's overspending. If you're going just over 10 million per year average annual value for a guy that could be a good player for the Chiefs, it's a risk. I don't know how to completely feel about it yet. I don't want any like concrete marking down how I feel. But and also Tyrann Mathieu on the other side, man. It's unfortunate that it's being reported the Chiefs never even offered him a contract. Like they had their minds made up that they were going to move on from him, let him test out the open market, see what his market was like, then maybe revisit things. The Chiefs seem to have had a clear-cut plan at the safety position as to what they were going to do. Justin Reid fit into that plan, their external addition. I don't think they spend a premium draft pick on one now. I think that Thornhill and Reid, obviously your top two, and then that all but slams the door shut, I think, on the Tyrann Mathieu era with the Chiefs.
Yeah, I agree with that. I kind of had a scenario on Twitter where Mathieu goes out there and really has no market at all, and they bring him back for like an $8 million deal.
That'd be wild.
I don't think that's going to happen, but that was just me throwing something strange out there into the universe. But yeah, I think Reid's a solid pickup, 25-year-old. We talked about him on the pod last week on the mailbag when we were going through safeties that we might like to bring in free agency. So yeah, he's a guy that I liked. He was one of those 25-year-old guys. He's going to be here in his prime. And so, yeah, I think that's great. Also, I think that if Mathieu doesn't come back, we're going to see Sneed in that Mathieu role where he's kind of roaming around the secondary, playing all over. He has that ball hawk mentality, kind of like Mathieu does. And so, yeah, I think we're going to see Sneed kind of get into that Mathieu role where I think that they're going to extend Sneed to be that guy who can kind of play anywhere in the secondary.
I can see that, man. I think personally that he's going to stick kind of where he's at, but he has the versatility and the experience to do that. I think this is a good move for the Chiefs. Moving on from Tyrann Mathieu is the right thing. I wasn't going to be completely opposed or kind of crinkle my nose up if his market wasn't good and the Chiefs brought him back because he's going to be a good player. But Justin Reid's 4 or 5 years younger. He, by all accounts, man, one hell of a leader, one hell of a teammate, one hell of a player. I think that the Chiefs won with this move. They re-signed Michael Burton on Monday night, and I was like, man, they're really going to make one move all night. Then they restructure Clark after they sign Reid. So the Chiefs do kind of shock people late on Monday night.